Hey everyone, James Lynch here. We got some news that could potentially put a wrench here in UFC 324. Journalist Leo Walker Guimarães, who's been right about a lot of things when it comes to fight bookings and everything else. I did the translation here from Portuguese. He says, Kayla Harrison, actually I didn't do it. There we go. Kayla Harrison is out of the fight against Amanda Nunes on January 24th at UFC 324. The information was revealed firsthand by the website The Eagle Tribune, and I was able to confirm now about the cancellation. The champion had neck injury and needed to undergo surgery. He has a follow-up tweet here saying the prediction is that Harrison will return. The return will happen around 6 months. I was not informed whether there will be the creation of an interim belt for Amanda to fight for. Now, if this is 100% true, and I want to be clear, nothing is 100% confirmed yet, but I do trust Leo's reporting. He's been right about, I don't ever remember him being wrong about anything. He's been right about a lot. He had the initial Paulo Costa Bruno Ferreira fight. He's had a number of other fights where he was 100% right, and he's someone that's well respected in the industry. You look at some of the names of people that follow him. So if he's saying it, I have to take it at face value, but I want to be clear, this is not 100% official. I'm sure we'll get confirmation here soon, but I wanted to do a video because if she is out, this certainly impacts things. Now, I don't think Amanda's coming back to fight for an interim belt, unless the UFC really, throws out the red carpet. This is their first event on Paramount, but like, who would she even fight at this point? Like, who's ready to step in there and take this fight on, just over a week's notice? I think the whole thing for Amanda was to come back and fight Kayla Harrison. It's not to come back and fight someone else. It's not about the belt. It's about Amanda Nunes fighting Kayla Harrison. So I think if this fight's off, this is just my prediction, I think that they would postpone the fight and then they'd have to reassess and everything else, which sucks because this was a big fight on this card. And you get rid of this fight, it's still a fairly good card overall, but you lose one title fight and now you've just got an interim title fight there as well. So still got O'Malley and Song, Costa and Lewis, Allen and Silva. Umar is on this card as well. You got a couple really fun fights on here, but this would obviously be a big hit and just unfortunate because this was one of the big fights that I was looking forward to on this card. Obviously one of the biggest fights in women's MMA history. It could still take place like they're saying here in 6 months, but we'll see. Timing's everything. If it's 6 months, then, we'd have to see when that sort of adds up. Let me just do my checking here. So January, February, March, April, May, June. It's probably pushing it for the White House card, I would imagine, if this report is in fact true, that it's going to be 6 months here. But yeah. I'll update the description if this is 100% confirmed. Again, Ariel and Marcel and some of these other names have not chimed in, but like I said, Leo has been on the money. If we go look at his recent reports here, I can find some. He's been very much on the mark about a lot of fights when it comes to fight announcements and everything else. Like Jana Robin Ricci, he broke this fight. He's in the know. He broke the Casey O'Neill fight as far as I understood. So yeah, he's been pretty much on the money here. So I'm going to take this as this is happening, but I want to be clear that it's not 100% official. And again, this is Leo's report, not my report. I'm just doing commentary on this and talking about the possibility of Amanda Nunes being, not having an opponent for UFC 324. But like I said, my prediction would be they are going to most likely move this fight. They're not going to get Amanda Nunes to fight someone else. I think the name that kind of comes to mind, I think is Norma Dumont, right? I could be wrong about that. Women's bantamweight, who is the number one contender? Because I think Juliana Pena is out, if I'm not mistaken. Also, she just lost, so that would be a tough sell to have her fight for the belt again. Is Pennington? I think Pennington's off a loss too, right? Right? Her last fight was Pena. She didn't fight last year. Yeah, so that probably not. Pena, I believe, is injured. Although you could do Pena and Nunes for the trilogy, maybe, if she's ready to go, but I'm not sure. Norma Dumont, yeah, I think is the one to do it, and she's not booked yet. Would she step in and take this out? I don't know. Or take this fight, I should say. I don't know. Let me just do a quick search on Juliana Pena's, any sort of news on here. She hasn't fought in a while. She's talking about Venezuela. I'm not seeing anything here. And again, when was that fight with Kayla Harrison? It was a while ago, if I'm not mistaken, right? So let's have a quick look at that. Did I spell Tapology wrong? So the fight with Harrison was what, late last year, I think? Oh, it was in June. Oh, wow. It was that long ago. Okay, she might be ready to come back, but then also, you want to step in and fight Nunes again on short notice? I don't know, right? It's not like Pena's young either. Would she get another opportunity at a title at 36? She's going to be 37 this year. So I'm not entirely sure there. But my understanding was she was injured. That's why she hasn't fought. And she typically has been injured throughout his career. You look at some of the gaps in between fights, right? Fought a couple times in 2021, didn't fight at all in 2023, fought once in 2024, fought once in 2025. So yeah, like I said, if I had to do a prediction right now, if this is in fact happening, then I would lean more towards them just rebooking the fight. And if you're Nunes, you'd want that too. Because again, like I know there's some people who are like, you know, Nunes, you know, let's say she did fight Harrison and beat her if she'd continue her career. I don't see it. There just aren't big fights at bantamweight right now, women's bantamweight. Unless Valentina came up. But even then, Nunes has 2 wins over Valentina. I know the second fight was close, but if you're Nunes, does that add more to your legacy at the end of the day if you're fighting Shevchenko for a third time? Probably not, right? Even right now, I've said this before, I don't think Nunes even needs to come out of retirement. That's also another possibility too. Like with this fight getting postponed, allegedly, would Nunes, maybe she's just like, no, I'm good. I'll just stay retired. Because I don't think her beating Kayla Harrison adds much to her legacy. I think she's coming back because she really believes she can beat Kayla. I think, you know, they've trained together. I think Nunes really believes in her abilities. Nunes doesn't strike me as the type of person who's been sitting on the couch for the last 900 days. It has been a while since she's fought, but I think my prediction was Nunes would come back, fight Harrison. If she won or lost, she would continue to stay retired. I just don't think there's big fights in this division at all. And that goes for a lot of the women's divisions, right? Other than maybe flyweight. Flyweight's got some interesting contenders, but bantamweight's fairly weak for the most part. And I mean, no disrespect for the women in that weight class, but there's not making a lot of noise, and the same issues at strawweight too, right? You got a couple names there, right? Suarez, Weili, Dern, but outside that, not like a ton. I'd say women's flyweight with like Shevchenko, Silva, Blanchfield, Grasso, Barber, Namajunas, Jasmine's in the mix too, although she lost her last fight. Manon Fior, right? So these are some bigger names in that weight class. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, I'm just going to do a quick search right now. If at the time I'm recording this, we've got any more news on my timeline, not seeing anything. So yeah, I'll update in the description, guys, when this is 100% confirmed. But like I said, it's looking pretty likely she's off if Leo's reporting it. I have a lot of respect for the work he does. He is not someone, this is another thing you guys got to realize when it comes to reporting. Guys like Leo, they're not doing this for clout. There's a lot of people in this industry that make up fight rumors because they want to get a following and attention, and they're wrong all the time and they never retract. Leo is a guy that does do things the right way. He puts things out there. He's not a guy that's out there trying to make a bunch of fake rumors here. And and he'd be the first guy, I'm sure, if this is somehow wrong, which I don't think it is. He would come out and say something along the lines of like, hey, I made a mistake, or I got bad information or something. It happens. Ariel's been wrong. Marcel's been wrong. All the best have been wrong. It happens. But the difference is they will actually acknowledge it. A lot of these accounts, they'll delete the post and, pretend it didn't happen. Right? I'm not going to name any names, but I've talked about them on my streams. There's a lot of bad actors in this industry that basically, just make up stuff just to build a following, and that's not the right way to do it. So we need more people like Leo who's doing great work here. So let me know what you think in the comments. What should they do with the fight if Kayla is out? Should they postpone it? Should Nunes fight for an interim belt? Should she fight someone else? Let me know. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.